We are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to Code Era. Today we will be solving sorting problems of CodeForces. This is the third session for CodeForces sorting problems. So just quickly give me a +1 in the chat if my voice is audible to everyone and my screen is also clearly visible. And then after some time I'll wait for other people and then immediately we'll begin with today's session. So today we'll be solving 2 or 3 problems that are related to sorting, and the problem level will go slightly higher compared to the previous lectures that we have had, that is the previous 2 lectures, that is problem solving session 1 and 2. So this is, as you know, this is problem solving session 3. So what I'll be doing is I'll be solving a little bit more uh, B's and C's in this lecture. Like you can see, this is a C problem, this is a B, this is a B, this is a B. So all these problems are rated quite good on CodeForces, that is 1300 or 1200 or ratings like this. So just quickly give me a +1 in the chat, those who have joined, and like the video, so that everyone gets notified. And after some time I'll immediately will beginning with this session. I'll just wait for a couple of minutes for everyone else to join in. So these are the questions that I'll be taking. The first question that I'll be taking is create teams. The second question that I am thinking to take is Maria breaks self-isolation. The third question that I'll be taking is Bersu balls. And the fourth question will be sort the array, right? So these are the questions. These are the 4 questions that I am planning to take today, and if we do not have time then we can take 3 problems, but whatever we'll be doing that in depth. So please, I can see a lot of people have joined, so please like the video and please comment down +1 if everything is working fine and you are excited about this session as much as I am. So you can, meanwhile, if you haven't subscribed, so you can subscribe this channel, because on this channel we have been bringing quality content based on a lot of things like lead code daily challenges and CodeForces editorials, ad coder editorials, and lead code editorials as well. So I'll just wait for 1 more minute for everyone else to join in, and then immediately we'll start with the problem solving for today, right? So the first problem that we'll be taking is create the teams, and this was asked in CodeForces educational round 91 and its rating is 1400, right? You can see that the rating for this problem is 1400. So you can see that we are taking now the problems that are considered a little bit easy medium level, right? Or you can say someone who wants to be a specialist on CodeForces, right? So just I'll just wait for. So, okay, shall I begin? Just quickly comment on +1 if everyone agrees that I should begin with this session. Shall I begin with this session? You can just comment down a +1 if everyone agrees that I should begin with this session. Okay, perfect. So let's begin with the session. So the first problem that I'm going to take is create the teams, and it was asked in CodeForces educational round 91, which was rated for division 2. So the problem says that you have been given n programmers that you want to split into several non-empty teams. So you have been given n programmers and you want them high technology. Okay, so there are n programmers that you want to split into several non-empty teams. So you have n programmers and you want to split them into some teams, and the skill of the ith programmer is given to be AI. You want to assemble or you want to create the maximum number of teams that is possible, and there is a restriction for each team that the number of players, the number of programmers in the team multiplied by the minimum, the programmer who is having the minimum skill should be at least greater equal to x, right? So this is what has been mentioned in the problem. So the I'll just give you a quick brief about this problem. So what this problem says is, let me just connect this. Yeah, right. So what this problem says is, this problem says that you have to create teams, right? So you'll be given some programmers, you will be given n programmers, that is this, you will be given an array of n programmers. The ith programmer is having AI skill, right? So what you want to do is you want to create teams, you want to create maximum teams, right? You want to create maximum number of teams, and condition is that you will be given an integer x, and the size of the team, let's suppose for a team to be considered, the size of the team into the minimum, the guy with the minimum programming skill, that is the minimum AI in that particular team, should be greater equal to x, right? The product of the size of the team into the minimum, the guy with the minimum programming skill, that is AI, that is size into minimum of AI for that particular team should be greater or equal to x, right? Is this problem clear to everyone? Just quickly let me know in the comments. Is this problem clear to everyone? You have been given n programmers, and out of those you have to pick some programmers such that you have to maximize the number of teams. But for making a team, there is a condition that for each team, there's number of people, that is the size into the minimum, the guy with the minimum skill in that particular team should be greater or equal to x, right? X has been given to you in the question. Is this question clear to everyone? Just quickly let me know in the comments. Is this question clear to everyone? Is it? Because only then I'll be able to move ahead. Is it clear to everyone? You can just quickly comment down below. I'm looking at your comments. I think that it must be clear. Basically, you have to create teams, and you have to create teams such that you have to maximize the number of teams that you have created, and the size that's correct. If a team will be counted only when the size of the team into the minimum element into the minimum programmer for that team is greater or equal to x, right? So this much part must be clear to everyone. It was very basic. Now the question comes that how will you do this, right? So let's copy the test cases from this problem. So you have been given n, that is n and the x, and you have also been given AI, right? That is skill for the IS programmer. So let me just paste the test cases and see what the problem says today. Yeah, right. So what happens is, let's say if you have been given n is equal to 5, right? If let's say you have been given n is equal to 5, so that means that the number of players in the team are 5, and n is equal to 5, so number of programmers are 5, and x is equal to 10, and you have been given this array, that is 7, 11, 2, 9 and 5, right? So how should you approach this problem in such a way that the product that you get the maximum number of teams? One thing that I can do is, let's say I pick randomly, right? So let's say I pick this 7 and this 9, right? So if I pick 7 and 9, then the team size will be 2, right? So size is 2 and the programmer with the minimum skill is nothing but 7, so which gives me 14, and 14 is greater or equal to x, right? That is 10. That has been given to me in this problem, right? After that, what I can do is, let's say I pick 11 and I pick 5. So what will happen with these two programmers is, let's say I do this, and with this you can see that the size is 2, and the minimum programmer skill is 5. So 2 into 5 gives me a 10. So this 10 is greater or equal to x, right? So you can see that I have formed two teams, right? I have formed two teams, and after that what I can do is, let's say I have just one element left, that is 2. So what I can do with this 2 is, the size of the team is 1, and the programmer with the minimum skill is 2, so that is 2, and 2 is not greater or equal to x, right? 2 is not greater or equal to x, that is why I'll not be considering it. So I can make two teams. Can I make more than two teams for this test case? Can you tell me? Can someone in the chat quickly tell me, can I make more than two teams? Can I do this? Can I do this? Just quickly let me know in the chat. Can I do this? Can we do this? Can we make the number of teams more than, I have made two teams. Can we make more than two teams? Can we make more than two teams? And this is a greedy, as well as one more concept is getting applied. So please comment down below, like, how will you solve this problem? I want to know from all of you, like, how we will solve this problem. Can someone in the chat quickly let me know how we should be solving this problem? Anyone can let me know in the chat. Any particular approach that you think will work for this problem? What do you think that we should do to maximize the number of teams? Can we make more than two teams in this test case? Can we do this? That is what I'm asking from you. Can we make more than two teams? What do you think? Just let me know about your opinion on this. Whatever you think, just let me know quickly. Okay, so I'll tell you what you can do is, you have to maximize the number of teams, right? Your target, let me make some space for us, right? Sliding window, how do you think that it is gonna help us? What type of sliding window? You will apply the sliding window on this original array, or you will do something else with this array? What will you do? but at least you have tried, that's good, right? So for this problem, the task is to maximize the number of teams. Okay, you have to maximize the number of teams. Can you think of a concept like I have to maximize the teams? So what should I do? I have two things. I have two things with me. I have the size, I have the team size, right? I have two things. I have team size and I multiply it with the minimum skill of that particular team, right? Minimum skill, it should be greater equal to x, right? It's not that it should be very much greater, it should at least be equal to x, or it should be just slightly greater than x. That will work for me. If there are two circumstances, if I say about team size, I want this to increase, right? I want this to be greater equal to x. So either I can increase, if I increase my team size, if I increase my team size, then the number of teams, can I say that the number of teams formed will be less? Number of teams, if in one particular team the members are more, then the number of teams formed will be less. Can I say this? Can I say this? Yes, I can. If a particular team, suppose a particular team is taking more players, more number of players are in that team, so team size is greater, so that will increase the product of team size into the minimum skill. But that in that way, the number of teams that I will be making will be reducing, because not many players will be left for the next team, right? And another thing that I should know is, what if I increase the minimum skill? If I increase the minimum skill, then I will require lesser team size. Can I say this? That if I increase the minimum skill in that particular team, then can I say that I will require lesser players, lesser team size? If I increase the minimum skill in that particular team, can I say that the team size reduces, team size will decrease, and because of this, when the team size decreases, so can I say that when the team size decreases, so the number of teams formed will be increased? If the current team size decreases, if like this, the team size increases for every team, so that is why the number of teams formed will be greater, because more players will be left, number of teams formed will be increased. Can you observe this? Is this much? Are these 2 points clear to all of you? These 2 points, the point number 1 and point number 2, that is number of teams formed will be more, right? If I have to get this greater equal to x, either I can increase the team size, but if I increase the team size, then the number of teams formed will be less, because lesser programmers will be left. But if I increase the minimum skill, in that particular team, then the number of teams will decrease, the team size will decrease, and the number of teams that I'll be making will increase, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Quickly comment down a +1 if this particular thing is clear to everyone. Please comment down +1 if this much part is clear to everyone, right? Is it clear? Please write clear in the chat, or please write down +1 in the chat if this part is clear to everyone. Is it clear to everyone? I hope that it is. Basically what I'm saying, you have to find this product, right? That is, team size into skill should be greater equal to x. So if that is the case, so if the team size increases, then that means the number of teams that I'll be making will be less, because lesser programmers will be left. But if I increase the minimum skill, in that case what will happen? The team size will decrease, because I'll be requiring lesser team size, and the number of teams will be formed will be greater, because now I am having more number of players, right? More number of programmers left to make other teams as well, right? So this is what I have thought in this problem. Now what we should do further? How now you know one thing. One thing is for sure, that you don't want to do this first step. You don't want to increase the team size, because in that case the number of teams formed will be less. But you can increase the minimum skill. How can you how can you maximize the minimum skill of a particular team? How can you do that? When will the minimum size increase? Can someone tell me in the chat quickly? Can someone in the chat let me know? Anyone? Like, anyone can answer that? What should we do? What should we do in this case? Just quickly let me know. What should be done? Any idea? Can I say that I can take the bigger values first? Can I say that? let's say if I sort this out, don't you feel that you should be doing sorting in this part? Like this is 7, this is 11, this is 2, this is 9, and this is 5. So let's first sort this out. So if I sort them, so this would look like 2, then 5. This will be nothing but 2, then 5, then 7, 2, 5, 7, and then 9 and 11, right? Can I say that if I pick the programmer with the bigger skills, then in that case, if I pick the programmers from the back, if I pick the programmers from the back, from the end, so can I say that my size, the team increases, right? Everyone will agree to that. Yes, because my team size will decrease and I will be able to cross the threshold, that is the minimum skill into the size will be greater, right? What I can do is, let's say I sort it in this manner and I move towards the back. I go to this element, I start my traversal from this element. Currently I'm at 11, and the team size for 11 is what? Up till now I have taken only one element, right? So the current team size is 1. So can I say that this will be my x? Notice that x for this is nothing but 10. So is this greater equal to x? Is it greater equal to x? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, right? This is greater equal to x. So that means that one team is made from a single player, that is 11, right? So I can say that total number of teams that I formed is 1, right? After this, what will happen? My eye moves to this pointer, right? My eye moves to this pointer, and now I'll say I'll start my count again, because now I'm making a new team, so my count will start from 1 again. So can I say that if I take 9, that is just one player, is it greater equal to x? Is it greater equal to x? Is it? No, no. So I cannot make a team from 9 alone. Can I take 11? No, I cannot, because it has already been made a part of the team. Also notice that in this question, it is not necessary that every player has to be made part of some team. Or also one more thing, that apart from this, a player can be a part of only one team maximum, right? So can I say this? No, right? So what I can do instead is I can move to this pointer. I move to this 7. Now the minimum of this current team is 7, right? Minimum is 7 and the number of players are 2. That is 7 and 9. One team was 11. Another team is 7 and 9. Can I say that 7 into 2 is greater equal to x? Yes, 14 is greater equal to x. So I can say yes, I can make a team, right? Yes, I can make a team. So that is why this team 7 and 9 also become, right? After this what will happen? After this I move to this index. Now my count starts from 1 again, because I'm making a new team. So can I say that 5 into 1 is greater equal to x? No, that isn't the case. So this team will not be forming. Then I take 2 as well. So now the minimum element is 2 and the number of players in the team, number of programmers in the team are 2. So that is greater equal to x? No, this isn't the case. So no further teams will be formed, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? I hope that this much part is clear to everyone, right? This much part must be clear to everyone, right? So I can simply say that now I can start coding for it, right? Because what happens, first of all, this array that has been given to you, you can just simply sort that array. Can I say that? Yeah, right. You can sort the given array that has been given to you, and after that what you can do is you can start your iteration from the last element until I is greater or equal to 0, and you can do I minus I, you can do an I minus minus simply. Okay, right, yeah. So you can simply do an I minus minus once this part is done. So what you will do, you will be having a count of teams initialized as 0, and you will also be having sz, let's say, initialized to 1, that is the current team size, right? So what you will be doing is, if your a of I, the current element, this is the current minimum element of the team, into the size, if it is greater or equal to x, in that case what you will do, you will make the size 1 again, and you will say teams plus plus, right? The number of teams will increase. Else, if that is not the case, so what you will do is you will say sz plus plus, the number of players will increase in the team, right? And always notice that always the minimum element for the current team will be ai only, right? As you can see, you can observe that using some test cases as well. So now let me code down this problem. So let me have a look at the constraints and things. Okay, right. So let's code this problem out a little quick. So what you will be given, first of all, is you will be given n and you will be given x, and you have to return the number of teams, that is teams is equal to 0, and apart from this you have the initial count, let's say SZ, that is the size of the current team, as 1, right? SZ is initialized as 1, right? After this, what you will do is you will take C in N and X, that is the inputs that have been given, and simply after doing that, what we'll be doing is we'll be declaring long array of N, right? Once we declare an array, so we will take it as an input. So I starts from 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus, right? After this, you simply input the array part, and what you do is you sort it a comma a plus n, right? Once this much part is done, I starts from n minus 1, I starts from n minus 1, I is greater or equal to 0, and I simply do an I minus minus. So what I will see is if my current element, that is my minimum element of the current team, if I multiply that element, if ai into sz, currently I'll make the size as 1. Okay, I'll make the size of the current team as 1 every time. So if my this into the team size into the minimum element of the current team, if it is greater or equal to x, so can I say that in this case, what will I say? I'll say that teams plus plus, so the number of teams will increase, and I'll also be marking besides this, I'll also say that sz plus plus, right? This is what I'll say. In the else part, what I'll do, I'll say that I need to increase my team size, so I'll add the current element as well, and simply in the end I can return the number of teams that I have made, right? I can simply return the number of teams that I have made. So let me just quickly compile this problem on the sample test cases that have been given to us. Yeah, right. So let's check whether it gets done or not. Okay, so having some error. Yeah, right, long was not defined, so let's say this is long. Now it should work, I think. Let's see whether this works or not. Okay, again a long. Yeah. So is this problem clear to everyone? Just quickly let me know in the comments. Now it should get compiled. Okay, I wasn't even declared, right? So I think now it should get compiled. So the team is 1. So the teams, initially the team size will be what? 0. Is that should be the case? I don't think so. Let me see. Are we making some mistake here? I have sorted this in terms of ascending order, right? And once that part is done, so if it is greater or equal to x, then I do a teams plus plus, and this initially, can I assume that I'll be making one team? No, I cannot do that. So am I making some mistake in this part? I'm taking from the last element, that is I starts from n minus 1, and that is how I have checked. If initially the size every time will be size will not be made 1, right? Size here will be made 1. Okay, this is something that I have missed. Hopefully this works now. I think that it should. Yeah, 2, 1 and 0. Okay, so let me just submit this problem for all of you and see whether this works or not. So let's see what happens. Let's submit this problem and see what is the verdict of this problem. So it get passed, right? You can see that it got accepted. So this problem is done. Now let's move to the next problem. Let me clear the input part. Yeah, right. Now let's move to the next problem. The next problem is named as, is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly let me know in the chat if this much part is clear to everyone. Is it? I hope that it is. Now the next question that we are going to discuss is Maria breaks self-isolation, and in this problem you have Maria is the most active old lady in her house. So she is the most active old lady in her house, right? And she was tired of sitting at home. So this woman gets tired of sitting at her home, and after that what happens, she decided to organize a ceremony against the coronavirus, right? So she has decided to organize a ceremony against the COVID, and she has n friends who are also grannies. So she is having n friends excluding her, who are also grannies. So the ith granny is ready to attend the ceremony, provided that at the time of her appearance in the courtyard there will be at least ai other grannies there, right? So if suppose that there is the ith granny, so for the ith granny there should be at least ai grannies present already there, right? You have to note that the grannies can come into the courtyard at the same time, right? Formally, the granny I agrees to come if the number of grannies who come earlier than her or at the same time with her is at least greater equal to ai, right? So this is what has been given in the question. And grannies gather in the courtyard like that. Initially only maria is there in the courtyard, right? So initial number is 1, that is she is only there in the courtyard. After that all the remaining and grannies are still at home. On each step maria selects a subset of grannies, so none of them subtracts, she selects some of the grannies or maybe one or more, and who haven't entered the courtyard yet, and she promises each of them that at their time of appearance there will be at least ai other grannies including her in the courtyard, and maria can call herself granny, can call several grannies at once as well. In this case the selected grannies will go out into the courtyard at the same moment, so the so she cannot deceive the grannies, so that is all the grannies know the situation. So the for the ith granny, if there is lesser than ai number of grannies in the courtyard, then in that case she just goes away, she just goes away from the courtyard. And at the same time, then after this what has been given is your task in this problem is to find what is the maximum number of grannies that you can collect in the courtyard of the ceremony, right? In the courtyard for the ceremony. After all, more people in one place during quarantine, the more effective the ceremony, right? So consider an example. So if let's say n is equal to 6, so if there are 6 grannies, that is 154519. So 154519, let me write this up here. So this is nothing but 1545 and then 1 and 9, right? 154519, let me check. 154519, yeah. So there are that is n is equal to 6 for this case. Now they will be telling us something about this case. So let's quickly look at that as well. Is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly let me know by giving a +1 in the chat. Okay, so now further moving ahead, it says that at the first step maria can call the grannies 1 and 5. Each of them will see 2 grannies at the moment, right? The granny 1 and 5, that is this granny 1 and this one, so both of them will, each of them will see 2 grannies at the moment, right? That is this granny 1, if that is the case. So this granny 1, this granny 1, this granny 1 will see, she calls, first of all let me say what she is calling. So she is calling this granny and this granny together, so these 2 grannies come in, so maria is there, right? So currently there is one granny maria, but once this, if for this granny, for this particular granny, this granny is also present, right? So there are 2 grannies for this granny, so that is why she'll come, right? So let's increase the count by 1. Now for this granny will also see that this granny is there and maria is also there, right? So that is why the total increases by 3, because both of the grannies will say that yes, you have satisfied the minimum condition for us, that is the number of grannies are greater or equal to ai. So total number of grannies are 3, right? Now what will happen, this granny and this granny is done, the grannies 1 and 1 are done, this granny and this granny is done. Now what she can do is, let's say she can call another granny. So let's read the statement further. It says that at the second step maria can call grannies 2, 3 and 4, and each of them will see 5 grannies at the moment of going out into the courtyard, right? So that is why what will happen in this case is the total number of grannies will be what? The total number of grannies for this case will be nothing but 6, right? Okay, 3 are already there, right? 3 grannies are there. Now she calls these grannies, these 5, 4 and 5. So there are 3 grannies. So for this particular granny, there is this granny and this granny. So 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5. So this granny will add up as well, right? After this, for this granny, you can see that there are 4 grannies, right? So one more so this satisfies. So that is why I add up this. Then for this granny, then for this particular granny also, you can see that you can add 1 to it here, right? So that is why total number of 6 grannies will go. And when this granny number 9, granny with the 9 comes, so for this granny at least 9 grannies should be present. So for this granny you can easily observe that not 9 grannies are present, right? You can easily observe from this that not all the 9 grannies are present in this case, right? Everyone agrees to this? Just quickly let me know in the chat. Does everyone agree to this much part? Please quickly let me know in the chat. I am looking at the comments. Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? Just quickly let me know. I think that it is clear to everyone, right? Okay. So this is the condition, right? So you can see that total number of grannies in this case will be 6, right? Total number of grannies in this case will be 6. Now let me just copy the other cases as well and let's see what happens to those cases, right? So let's say if the number of grannies are let's copy this. Let's say 1 1 2 2 and 1, right? If this is the case, that is 1 1 2 2 and 1. If 1 1 2 2 and 1 is the situation, then in that case currently there is one granny, that is her. Then she can call all these 3 grannies and they will eventually come, right? Because they needed at least one granny. So that is why these 3 come in, these 3 come. So that is 1 2 3. So that means I'll increase the count by 3. So now the count becomes 4. The current count is 4. After that these 2 grannies also can come. So that is why the count becomes 6, right? And you can see that 6 is the answer. Now for this case, let me copy this case and let's see whether what will happen in this case. So I've just copied it, yeah, right. So for this case you can say that, let's say n was 6 and the grannies are, first of all, 2. The grannies are 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. In this case what will happen? In this case you can see that currently only Maria will be there, so currently the answer is 1, right? This now she can call this granny and this granny sees that only one granny is present and no other granny is present, right? So that is why this granny will not go in, right? Because only one granny is present. Now this does not go. This 3 also doesn't go because she needs 3 grannies, but currently there are 1. 4 will also not go, 5 will also not go, 6 will also not go, 7 will also not go. So the answer is nothing but 1, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? I hope that this part is also clear to everyone, right? I hope that everyone is clear with this part as well. Is everyone clear with this? I hope that everyone is, right? So that is why in this problem, one thing that you can observe is you need to bring the grannies in a sorted order, right? One thing that you can easily observe is that you need to bring the grannies. Hi, Abhik Dwivedi. So bring the grannies in a sorted order, right? Or to be precise, in an ascending order, right? Because you want to, why? Because you want to maximize the number of grannies, right, in the courtyard. Right, this is what you want to do. Perfect. Now the question is, how will you do this, right? So for this, the concept will be very simple. The concept is of sorting, but before that, let me copy all the test cases here and let me copy it. right? So I've copied the test cases. Now let me sort. Let's say this is 1, this is 1, this is 2, this is 2, this is 1, right? So if this is the test case, in this case how will I be able to find, right? That is the task that lies ahead of me. How would I be able to find, right? How will I be able to find? Can someone in the chat tell me how should I approach this problem further? Anyone can voluntarily tell me what should I do further in this? Anyone can tell me what should I do in this case? What should be done? So what I'll be doing is I'll be having all these elements in an array and I'll be sorting them, right? After that, what I'll do is I'll first of all come to this element. Okay, I will come to, let's say, if I have sorted this in this order. Let's say if this is not the case, let's take another case. Let's say I take 1 1 1 and then I take 4 and then I take 6. Let's say if I take this case, if can I say that if I try to see from the back, so can I say that if I try to see from here, so can I say that this granny will come in? No. Why? Because before her there are 1 2 3 4 grannies and one more Maria, 5, but this is not 6, right? So this granny will not come in. But for this granny which wants 4 grannies to be there, so what are the total number of grannies? This one granny, this one, all these 3 grannies will be present, and apart from this Maria is also present. So 4 grannies are present. So this granny which wants 4, so all these 4 grannies all the 4 grannies are present. That is 3 ones granny and 1 Maria is present, so 4 grannies. So that is why this 4, the granny who needs 4, whose AI is 4, she will also come in. So that is why what will happen, 4 plus 1, that is 5. 4 grannies, that is these 4 grannies plus 1 Maria, so total number of grannies are 5 for this case, right? Also one more thing, that let's say if instead of doing this in this problem, if the test cases look something like this, if it was 3, it was 2, it was 1, or let's say if this was 1 itself, right? Can I say that if for this particular granny, if this particular granny is able to attend, if this particular granny from the back, if this particular granny is able to attend, then all the grannies, other grannies are also able to attend this, right? Because if the granny who wants 4 grannies to be there, if the 4 grannies are there, if the condition for her satisfied, then that means that for others as well the condition will be satisfying, right? But how do you observe this? The task that lies ahead, that how do you observe this thing, right? So okay, let me do the indexing part. This is index 1, this is index 2, this is index 3, this is index number 4, this is index number 5. Can I say that for this granny there will be 1 granny that is already present? Can I say that for this granny there will be 2 grannies that are already present? For this granny there will be 3 grannies that are already present, that is this one and 1 Maria, so that is total 3. Can I say that for this granny, for total 4 grannies will be present, that is the index? Can I say that for this granny there will be 6 grannies that will be present? 6 grannies that will be present, right? Why? Because 5 grannies that will be present if this satisfies. But can I see that is 6 if I get this granny, that is my current ARR of 5. If I start from the back and my current ARR of 5 is 6, can I say that 6 is 6 granny that I am having, is it lesser equal to the current index, that is I plus 1? No, right? No, because 5 is not greater equal to 6. So that is why this granny 6 will not be able to come, right? This granny 6 will not be able to come. I come to this index now and I say that is my current ARR of I, that is 4. Is this granny, that is she requires 4 grannies, and before her total number of grannies present will be this, right? I'm taking 1 based indexing, that is why I plus 1. So that is why this granny can come. So can I say that if this granny can come, so that means the answer will be I plus 2, because I plus 1 is 3, notice that I plus 1 is 4, right? I is currently 3. If you see 0 based indexing, so this I was 3, but since I'm taking 1 base, so I plus 1 will be 4, and 4 grannies including these grannies, right? 1 2 3 4. One granny is Maria as well, so that is why 1 as well. So that is I plus 1 plus 1, that is I plus 2 grannies, right? So this is how I'll be doing it, and I'll immediately break and I'll return the answer, right? Is this part clear to everyone? Just quickly let me know in the chat. Is it clear to everyone, like what we are trying to achieve in this part? Is it clear to everyone? I hope that it is clear to everyone, right? I hope that it is clear to everyone. Perfect. Perfect. So now the question comes that how will you code for this problem, right? The question is that how will you code for this problem? So what we can do is we can simply take, first of all, let's say long n and I, and I'll be also taking, let's say, a flag initialized as 0, right? After that, what I'll do is I'll take the input, that is the number of grannies. Once that part is done, so I'll say long a of I, that is I want a of not I, a of n, okay? A of n. I'll take all the grannies as an input first of all, and then I'll do C in a of I. Once that part is done, so what I'll do is I'll sort this out. So I'll sort, that is a comma a plus n, so I'll sort them in this order. After that, what I'll start the iteration from the back. So I'll say that I starts from n minus 1, that is from the back, and I is greater equal to 0, and I minus minus simply. I'll check that if it happens that my current a of I, if it is lesser equal to I plus 1, if it is lesser equal to I plus 1, that means that this granny, this much number of grannies can be present there, right? And can I say that in this case I will simply see out what? I plus 2. I'll say that I'll simply see out I plus 2, because I plus 1 grannies are already present and 1 is Maria, so that is why I'll do an I plus 1, and I'll do this and I'll simply break from here. After this, what I'll do, if it happens that my flag is still 0, so that means that no other grannies were able to come there, right? So that is why flag is equal to 0. Then in that case I will simply see out the answer as 1, because only Maria will be present there, right? Let me just quickly copy the test cases for this problem and see whether these test cases work or not, right? So I've tried to do this. Let's see whether it works or not. Yeah, so this is 6164. Yeah, it is working. So let me copy the test cases and let's see this gets accepted or not. If in case anyone wants to ask anything, please feel free to ask, right? So let's copy this and see how it works. It's running and it got accepted, right? So you can see that this problem got accepted, right? So in this way you could do this problem. So now moving to the next problem, just let me before that erase this much code for this particular problem. Now will be, since we have only some minimum time left, so that is why now we'll be moving to this problem, that is Bersu balls. So let's read this problem statement. It came in CodeForces round 277.5 div 2. So this is very interesting, code 7 round 277.5 div 2. So all those who are watching, please quickly give me a +1 in the chat, and please like the video if you haven't done that, because we are trying to put in a lot of effort for all of you, right? So it says that the Berlin University is hosting a ballroom dance in celebration of its 1 lakh and a 1,50,500 anniversary. There are n boys and n girls who are rehearsing for the dance that is going to happen, that the ball that is going to happen. And we know that several boys and girls are pair are going to be invited to the ball. However, the partners dancing skill must at most differ by 1, right? So this problem says that the dancing skill of each programmer should at most differ by 1, right? This problem says that the dancing skill for each programmer should at most differ by 1. So you have been given two arrays. One array is of boys, that is the array AI, and the another array is for the girls, that is array B, and your task is to find the maximum number of pairs that can be made, right? Is the problem clear to everyone? You want to find the maximum number of pairs that you can make. How will you do this? How will you do this? Just quickly let me know. You want to find the maximum number of pairs that you can make. How will you do this? Can someone quickly let me know in the chat? How will you do this? Anyone can observe anything? You have I can see a lot of people are live, so please give a +1 and please like the video. So what this problem says is, you will be given some boys, that is boys who will be having dancing skill, let's say AI, some girls who will be having dancing skills BI, that is array B, and you have to find the maximum number of pairs that can be formed between a boy and girl. One boy and one girl can be part of only one pair, so obviously one boy is, if he's dancing with one girl, so he cannot dance with another girl, right? So that is what it says. Now another thing that has that you need to notice in this problem is the difference between two partners. Brute force give n square. Yeah, right, that is correct. That is correct. So this guy is suggesting that we should apply a brute force for this problem, right? Why we should be applying a brute force for this problem? The reason for applying a brute force is very simple, because notice that n is between 1 to 100 and m is also between 1 to 100, right? So for this problem we can easily see that we can apply a brute force, that is n square solution. So how should we apply a n square solution? Can you tell me, Chirag, how do you want us to apply the solution? Notice that there is only one test case. So if let's say this is the test case, let me move a little bit down. Okay, right, so let's say if the boys and girls are given, right? So if let's say the boys are given as 1, 4, 6 and 2, and the girls are given 5, 1, 5, 7 and 9, you have to find maximum number of pairs, right? You have to find maximum number of pairs. How will you do this, Chirag? Can you tell me, or anyone else can tell me? You have to find the maximum number of pairs for this case. How will you do this for this problem? How will you do this? Anyone can tell me any particular approach for this problem. You have, this is for the boys, this is the skill of the boys, right? So Ritik is suggesting what? Ritik is suggesting that for each boy, binary search on the girls for +-1 for boys is skill, right? Yeah. One suggestion from this guy is that we can do a binary search. But for doing a binary search, do I require something before doing a binary search? Is there any prerequisite for doing a binary search on the girl array? Is there any prerequisite? Can you tell me about that? Any prerequisite for that? Any prerequisite for doing that? Any? Sorting also works. For doing binary search as well, you have to apply sorting, right? For binary search as well, you have to apply sorting. But here, since you want the differences to be as less as possible, so in one of the previous videos we had discussed that to want the elements to be minimum, you want to sort them in ascending order, right? So here what you can do is you can apply a binary search and sorting. Apart from this, you can also apply a binary search, right? What happens when you do this? When you apply a binary search, then the overall time complexity, because you are sorting, so it will be order of n log n, and after that what it will be for each of the n log m, right? Because assuming that you are sorting both, so this will be nothing but n log n plus m log m plus n log of m, right? This will be the time complexity in that case. But you can also do a simple approach that will be sorting only, that will take order of n into m time. This will be much more costly compared to this plus order of n log n plus order of m log m, right? This will be what we can do, right? Sorting will also work, right? Yeah. So let me show you like what will happen in this case. what you can do is, let's copy this again. All right, so let's do this. So let's say if I have, first of all, I'll be having what? I'll be having one, then I'll be having, after that I'll be having 2, right? After that I'll be having this element, that is 2. Oh, for some weird reason it's not working properly. Okay, so I'll be having, let me write it instead, I guess that would work. Yeah, now it's working. Okay, fine. So what we should do in this problem is, we can simply sort it, right? So this will be nothing but 1, 2, 4 and 6 for the boys, and for the girls this is 1, 5, 5, 7 and 9. So I am at this boy, currently I am at this boy 1, this boy 1, and I see, can I make it with pair? Anyone, can I make it? I can make this one with this pair, right? Why? Because let's see the conditions that have been given to us. So the conditions are that the partner skills must differ at most by 1. Okay, so absolute difference should be at least 1. So can I say that this one and this one can make a pair? Yes, they can. That is why we use the concept of sorting. So 1 minus 1 will give me 0. So this one and this one makes a pair. So this is done, this is done. I'll mark it as done, I'll mark it as pair, right? I move to this 2. I see, can this 2 can make a pair with this 5, with this 5 with this 7 or 9? No, it cannot, it cannot. So that is why this is done. Now I come to this 4. Can this 4, what I was saying was, to apply binary search we would have to sort them. Yeah, for binary search we have to sort them. That is what I said as well. For the audience I said this, right? So if all of you are watching, please consider giving a like, right? So for this 4, I can say that I can make a pair with this 5, right? So I make a pair 4 comma 5. I mark this as done, I mark this as done as well, because I cannot make a pair for this. Now I have this 6. I see that I can make a pair of this 6 with this 5, so I make a pair of this 6 with this 5. Now this 6 is done and this 5 is also done. So the total, can I say that the total pairs that I have made is nothing but 3? Can I say this? Everyone agrees the total pairs I have made is 3. Is there anything more than that? Yeah, you can see that in this we have made a total pairs of 3. Let's take the next test case for this problem. So let's say if the test case for us was given to be this. So if the test case was something like this, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. If this was the test case, in that case what we could have done, what could have we done? Can someone quickly let me know in the chat? If this is the test case, so what should we do in this case? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have 10, 11, 12, 13, right? So all these are sorted already. So you come to this and you see, can you make a pair with this? No, you cannot. So no pair. For this 2, can you make any pair with 10, 11, 12, 13? No, the absolute difference is not 1. I can see a lot of people are watching. Please give a +1 in the chat and please like the video if you haven't done that. So for this 3, can I say that I have absolute of AI? This is AI minus bj. Is it absolute should be lesser equal to 1, right? This is the array A and this is the array B, right? For this 3 also no, for this 4 also no element, right? So that is why can I say that the total pairs that I'll be making for this case is nothing but 0? Yes, I can say that. Now moving on to the next part. Let's say if we look at the last test case, then what will happen in that case? So if we have a look at the last test case, so let me just see, that is 5 ones and then 1 2 3. Okay, 5 ones, then 1 2 3. Notice that this is already sorted, so we don't need to do that, right? So what I'll be doing is, for this one, can I make a pair with this one? Yes, I can make 1 with 1, right? 1 with 1. So I have done that. I'll mark it as done. For this one, I can make a pair of this one with this 2, right? So I will mark it as done. Now for this one, I move to this 3. Can I make a pair for this one with this 3? No, I cannot. Can I make a one pair with this one with this 3? No. So the total number of pairs that I can make is nothing but 2. Now notice that the problem was a brute force. So when it is given brute force, then you don't need to prove yourself that you can do it using binary search or some other techniques, because you can see that this was what? This was a problem B. So how do you solve this in a quick time, in no time? How do you do that? So you can do it in quick time very quickly only and only when you will apply the brute force. It is brute force, then why will you apply a binary search or things like that? You might get some error, right? You can simply apply this, since this is n square, n into m is accepted, so that is why you can directly apply n into m, right? So what we'll be doing in this problem is, can someone tell me what we'll be doing into this problem now? What can we do? I am looking for your comments. Can someone let me know in the chat? Any answers, any suggestions, like how should we do this problem further? I'll let you know only, right? Long n comma m comma I comma j, and let's say the count is initially marked as 0, right? After this I'll take c in n, and once I've taken this, so let's name, what are the constraints? I think the constraints are not very high, so that is why I can do this, that is int, right? After that I'll do an int of a of n, that is I take the first array as input. For I starts from 0, I is lesser than n, and I do an I plus plus. After that I can do c in a of I, right? Then after that what I'll do, I'll take the second array as an input, that is for I starts from 0, I is less than m, and I plus plus. Once that is done, so I'll take c in b of I, that is the elements of the second array. And once this much part is done, what will I do next? Let me just zoom in so that it is visible to you all as well, right? Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll sort both the arrays, that is a comma a plus n, and you can do that, but I will be using a visited array as well. Let's say I use a visited array, let's say int paired, let's say int paired of m plus 1 is equal to 0 initially, so everyone is initialized as 0. After that what I do is b comma b plus m, that is I sort the second array as well. Then what I'll do, I'll start the iteration. I starts from 0, I is lesser than n, and I plus plus. Then after that what I should do further, so what I should be doing further is, for my j starts from 0 and j is lesser than m, and I do a j plus plus. After that I will check if the current element is not paired. If paired of j, if the current girl is not paired, right? If it is equal 0, and my absolute difference between a of I minus b of j, if it is equal, if it is lesser equal to 1, in that case what will I do? In that case I'll say that I'll increase the count, I'll increase my count, so I'll say that count, I'll say that I'll do a count plus plus, and after that I'll say that the jth girl is paired, right? So I'll say that pair of j is equal to 1. Now it is paired, right? And in this way, in the end, I can simply say that I'll return the count of all the elements, right? Let me just copy the test cases and see whether our program is working for the samples or not, and then we'll submit it. So yeah, array b wasn't declared. Is it not declared? Yeah, so int b of m. Let me see whether this works or not. Getting some segmentation error. What's the reason for that? Have I done some mistake here somewhere or anything like that? So for this problem you will not be having any test cases. You will be given this and this, and you will be required to take them as an input, right? I starts from 0, I is lesser than n, I plus plus, then I take the array as an input and I do this. After that j starts, yeah, j is lesser than m, right? Yeah, j is lesser than m. C in T is not there because I have not taken, I've commented that out. Basically j is less than m I was missing this part. I hope that it will now work. Hopefully it will work now. Space complexity is what? Space complexity will be if I'm using a visited array, then the space complexity is order of m. So you can see that I am getting 4 for this, but I should be getting 3 for this. Have I made some basic mistake here somewhere? Just let me think of it. Both are sorted, right? Initially the counter should be initialized to 0 only, right? Yeah. So I do a count plus plus for each of the elements, and after that I also gets incremented, right? So what is something that I might be missing in this part? Let me check. I sort it a comma a plus n, b comma b plus m. That is the size for each, and if it's not paired, right, if it's not paired, then I do what? I do this. That is also correct. Have I missed something from here? Yeah, I need to break. For this element I need to break, man. I need to break because this element is done, right? So that is why I need to break from the loop as well. Now let me see whether this works or not. Well, because the current element, current gull is paired, so that's why I need to break from the loop, right? I don't want to count that again and again. So let me just copy it and paste it in the solution and see whether this gets accepted or not. Is this question clear to everyone? I think it is. So just please comment down below if it is clear to everyone or not. So I've submitted it. Let me check whether it works or not. You can see that it got accepted, right? So you can see that this problem also got accepted. So these are the 3 problems that we have discussed today. I think that we are running out of time if we'll discuss this problem. We'll discuss this problem in the next class, that is tomorrow. So this is our channel, that is Codera. So make sure to like this channel, subscribe this channel, like the videos. And why break? Because if the current gull is paired, right, why break? Because why break? Because let's say if this was the case only, if this was the case, if this one is paired with this one, this pair can also, if I'll not break, then this one will also get paired with this, right? Then the number of pairs will increase. Why are you doing paired of I in the loop, pair of j in the if loop, right? Why am I doing this? Because I want, if this one is already occupied, if this one is already paired, then I'll not be pairing it with this one, right? With this one or this one, right? Otherwise I'll be counting more number of pairs than that are actually present there, right? That is why. And the reason for using break is because if I'll not break, then this one will get counted with this one as well, right? Okay, so that is the reason why I am doing this. And the reason why I'm using paired, because this one should not get paired with this, because this is already occupied. So this one should get paired with this, right? This one should get paired with this one has got paired with this, then I break this. And if I'll not break, so in that case there would be an error. This one should not get paired with this, right? So that is why paired of this gull will be 1. Paired of this gull is also 1, so this one can also not get paired. So that is why in this case the total paired will come out to be 2. I hope that that is clear to everyone, right? So you can consider to subscribe our channel Codera. And like today we'll be bringing the lead code daily challenge as well, recorded editorial. And daily we are trying to level up on Codera. We'll be doing these sessions daily, that is the series daily. So thanks a lot everyone for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Make sure to like the channel, share it with your friends if you like it, and thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you soon in the next one.